Internet. Welcome to YouTube and welcome behind my screens. I'm Carlos Hill, your host, and today's topic we're going to cover what is an RPG. The simplest answer is it's a role-playing game. I can stop the video, I'm done, thanks for hit subscribe. Anyway, no. Role-playing has been done by children for centuries. If they run around in the front yard playing cowboys and Indians, cops and robbers, little Susie wants to play house or play doctor, that's all role-playing. They're taking on the roles of characters and acting out whatever they want, whether it be adventurous, mundane, however. A tabletop role-playing game shares those elements of these childhood games of imagination, and that's exactly what fuels them, is the imagination. Imagination of the person running the game and the players around the table. They can take on the roles of anything they want, whether it be a wizard, a superhero, a space pilot, barbarian, etc., etc. The players will create their characters, and they'll make the big and little choices in order to bring those characters to life around the table. The characters will live in the universe of the game that the players and the game master create, and you'll have the adventures that will become legends of your game table and possibly spread to others. While most people around the table has that one character to play, to bring that one person to life, someone gets the position of being the game master, or GM. It's also been called dungeon master, storyteller, referee, judge, lots and lots of other names. Almost every game has a different name for it. We're going to use GM and Game Master for my videos because it covers a generalized area. The GM needs to know the rules enough to determine outcomes of the players in their actions, their words, and he doesn't get his own character, but he gets to control the story, the environment. He gets to play the innocent bystanders, the allies, the villains, and even the animals. All of this to encourage the imagination and move things along in this great story. And a lot of people want to know, well, how do you win an RPG then? And they don't have winners and losers in the term that most of us know. As your measure of success is character survival, but it's also the story and how much fun everyone at the table is having. Also, you'll get as much out of role-playing as you put into it. If you really put everything into it and bring that character to life, where you know your nervous tics or your flaws and assets and etc., etc., people will pick it up and put more into their own characters to bring them to life. A tabletop role-playing game, it can be done one time, be done, or you can have 3 or 4 sessions to finish one story, or you can make an entire hobby out of it like I do and come back for story after story, making it like a television series. Then to play any tabletop role-playing game, you only need a few things. First, you need a couple of friends, and you've probably got those already. 3 or so, you're good. As many as you want, as many as you can handle, great. You'll need a rule book for the game that you're playing, and this gives you the ways to dictate everything fairly. That way everybody's playing on the same plane. Pencils and paper is important. Keep track of what your character does. Keep track of what story where you are in the story. And most games have a pre-made character sheet. This will tell you how strong your character is, if they can shoot a bow, a gun, or whatever. Then probably need dice. Some games use cards that you draw cards, or maybe it just says to flip a coin. But most of them use dice. These are polyhedrals of many various sizes, and that's going to be another video later explaining those. But they can be picked up at your local game store, wherever you pick up your game that you're playing. And mentioning the game you're playing, they can be of any genre. Genre is described as a composition that shares characteristics in form, style, etc. And there is really an RPG for almost on any genre. Most people know medieval fantasy with the old Dungeons and Dragons, and there's many others that have been around for that. And that gives an offshoot to some gothic horror if you like that. I love my gothic horror games. I play a lot of those. Modern horror, if you want to play a werewolf or a vampire, that's by White Wolf Games. No copyright intended on any of this, I promise. Then, if you want modern sci-fi, there's games for that. Maybe you're the kind that wants to be a superhero, and there's plenty of games for being a superhero out there. Lots and lots of those. Or maybe you just want that sci-fi and flying around in the space lanes, and there's games out there for that. So, honestly, pick a genre, grab a couple of friends, some dice, coins, and of course, then you need some snacks and drinks. But pick them up and enjoy the hobby that is role-playing games. Anyway, I'd like to thank you for being behind my screens and listening to what a role-playing game is. Hit subscribe, like, whatever. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.